Hey everyone, we're back with the best BST 863 broken station. In the meantime, I got a little quick 861 DW. It's working great. It's even better than the best because it doesn't have the silly touchscreen, and you can actually ramp up and down the temperature using the physical buttons here. I mean, it would be even greater, even better if it had little knobs. It would just put two encoders on it just for easy adjustment. Like, what's wrong with just knobs, having knobs for everything? You know, car ACs are all about touchscreens and buttons these days. What happened with the simple knob? Just, you know, turn it one way for hot, the other way for cold. Yeah. Anyway. So the new blower motor arrived. It's looks to be just about the same as the other one. I'm gonna mount it and see if it works. One thing though is, so it has this little protrusion, this hose. I'm not sure what to do. Should I take it off the station and try to fit this over the plastic in there, or should I take it off over from the motor and try to fit the other gland end over the motor? I think I'm just gonna take it off the station and try to fit the motor gland over there. I mean, you can see it's slightly expanded, so it might be a bit tricky to fit it. But anyway, let's cut it. See if we can fit it over. If not, just gonna have to expand a little bit with some sort of heated mandrel or something. All right. So this, I'm not sure what they're doing with this little spring in here. I mean, it could be. I mean, the wires for the heater element and the Hall effect sensor sort of merge inside this tube here, and maybe this piece of spring is there not to prevent it from I don't know, from clogging it up. I'm not sure. It doesn't seem like it would do anything. It's just too short. I mean, where these wires meet up and the main tube here is beyond the point where that spring ends up at. So I'm not sure. I mean, it's like an anti-kink mechanism, but there's no movable parts inside while it's secured. So I don't know. Anyway, yeah, it looks like that fit in. I'm gonna wrap a zip tie after I'm done just to secure it in place, but looks pretty snug so far. The rubber feet on this thing are a bit hard to get in. They were a bit difficult to get out as well, but I mean, let's try to push them in with a little spudger. Yeah, she won't budge. Tell you what, let me pause and get a closer look at this. Don't want to break these bumpers, but I'm not exactly sure how this. Look at this. So there's this little tip here, right? And then there's this boss over here that needs to go through the sheet metal, and it's so soft you can't really push it, you can't really pull it because it breaks. So let me get back, let me just try to figure how these things fit, and then I'll let you know what I did. Alright, so sort of the key was to use this little hook tip on my spudger and sort of work the rubber in from the inside, and then once it's sufficiently out, and just sort of work with your fingers. The most difficult one is obviously the one in the back over there, because you don't really have much access. Well, let me try to do this one on camera so you can see. So sort of, well, you can't really see that, Let me see if I can reposition this. Alright, so push this in, sort of like that, and then work from this little boss into the casing. And now it's sort of in just a little bit, and I can use my fingers and work it all the way around. Yep, just popped out. Let's do that again. So we push the boss into it, grab it with your fingers on the other side, flip it over, and then just work it in a sort of circular manner until it's all... Yep, there you go. It's on the other side. Now I do the same for the last one. There we go. You could probably do this with, you know, a toothpick or something, or a long stick. But I have this one handy. There we go. There we go, it's all in there. Alright, now we can plug this in, right? This is the connector. Hopefully it has the same pin out. At least, well, the colors don't the colors don't match, but you know, I guess it's whatever they had on hand. Although, yeah, this looks like red and black here, but the wires or the insulation on the new one are thinner than the old one. Ah, Jesus. That just reeks of quality. Alright. That's in. And let's flip this around. See if it explodes. And we get a power cable. Alright. I can hear it spinning, so. Yeah, it's pushing air, but why is there no... Yeah, it's not heating up. So, that's not great. But at least it's pushing air, so... Next up we gotta check the heating element, the temperature sensor. See if that has anything to do with it. Yeah, it doesn't want to start heating up. So it could be, you know, the heating element's busted, the sensor is busted, or the track is busted. So let's check the handle first, see if the heating element is busted, and we'll go from there. Okay, so easy way to check the heating element is right on the board. You can see over here these two wires go right up in that big ass connector that's right next to the triac, and we can simply check that we want to make sure that's not an open circuit or a devilishly short circuit. So we can just probe right on there. Let's see. Oh shit. Hang on, let me. Yeah, 15 mega ohms. That's not good. So we might have burnt out the heating element when it was running without a blower. So when the blower was broken, it might have burned out the heating element. I will also check now the connections inside the handle, because this also has some connections from what I remember. So it might be just a loose connection on the heating element. It might not be. I don't know. Let's get a screwdriver in here, if I can find one. Open this up. So it might have been damaged while it was running without the blower. Because the thing is, if this was at, I think it was at 400C or something like that when the blower gave out, so I can't say how the heating element fared without any cooling. So, this is what it looks inside. When I got this thing, there's a little Hall switch in there that was broken. Oh, there's a, hey, look at this, there's a thermal fuse in there that goes into here, into the heating element. So I would say these two wires, you can see in there, these two should be the thermocouple or thermistor, whatever they're using, and these should be the heater element itself. Alright, so let's plug a few probes in there and see what we measure. This middle terminal is not used, it's just empty in there. So let's put the needle probes on. Alright, so probe in there, probe in there, and we get 49 ohms, which is good. Next up, the thermal fuse in here. So if we can probe that, it's just clip a probe on there somehow. Here and here. And looks like this is open. So that's a good thing. This thermal fuse blew and saved our heater element potentially. Bad news is I'm not sure I have the correct thermal fuse, but you know, I can check my junk drawer, my junk bin. Oh yeah, look, this thing comes off real nice. And see if we can make out anything. Nah. CB something. Yeah, I gotta take that out. So give me a sec while I desolder this thing and we take it out, see if it's see if we can find any replacement in the junk pile. Doubtful, so we're probably gonna end up just wiring this straight up and ignoring the protection for well, at least until I can get an order put in for an equivalent thermal protection. Okay, so I unsoldered this lead and then I could take out the thermal fuse. It's a 121C fuse. Not sure. Yeah, there you go. Focus. God damn it. 121C. 250 volts, 10 amps, right? And yeah, it's let me just put the meter in here so you can see. It's definitely burned out. There we go. Hold that in there. Hundred something K, yeah. Oops. That was my finger, I guess. This is clearly toast. If I put my finger on it, then yeah, it's 200K, but the fuse itself is completely open. So yeah, I'm gonna short this out for the moment. So basically just solder this blue wire straight onto the power terminal for the heater and see if it works. You can see on this little plastic holder it got charred up. So while it was running without the blower, well, cooling off without the blower, it managed to burn the fuse. I actually was sort of quick enough that when this happened, I grabbed my shop air and just blasted the inside, blasted the nozzle with shop air, trying to cool it down so it won't, it wouldn't melt the handle and such. And well, I mean, it didn't melt the handle, as you can see, but it did trip the thermal fuse here. So yeah, I'll buy a little 121C 10 amp thermal fuse and I'll replace it. But let's hack it together, see if it works. One thing to note when you're reassembling the handle is it does have a little key. So this handle piece has a little key here that lines up into this groove. Right, so if you don't get that right, your screws are not going to line up properly. And I've done that mistake before when I disassembled this handle to fix the Hall sensor. So make sure you get that key aligned there. Otherwise, you're not gonna be screwing these screws into anything. So, All right, let's just test this out real quick. No need to get all fancy about it. All right, you should do it. Let me flip this over. Let's get a cable in it. All right. All right. Contact. It's working. Yes, it's hot. You can see the temperature is 375 and it is burning my skin, so that's good. And now it's doing the whole cooling down ramp up, where it ramps the fan up to 100% till it cools down, so it's good. Yeah. What are the odds I'm gonna forget about this and just leave this as is? I mean, I don't know, pretty high, since I'm using the quick 861 now most of the time. Not even sure what I'm gonna do with this thing, so. Anyway, I'll let you know if the blower breaks again. I'd say don't buy it, but you know, your mileage may vary. You may get lucky. Like it's the same thing on the inside as the Quick 861. Pretty much exactly the same, except for the LCD, which is not as usable as the buttons on the Quick. The motor is the same. The drive board does is a bit different. The Quick has beefier MOSFETs, but I don't expect that to be a problem anytime soon. Yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching. Hope your luck's better than mine. See ya.